The Logos, God Himself, became perfect man by the Holy Spirit and the Virgin Mary, was born in a cave and laid in a manger, was circumcised, was held in the arms of the righteous Simeon, was baptized in the Jordan by John, was transfigured in front of his holy disciples and apostles on the mountain of Tabor, sat on a colt of a donkey, came to the voluntary passion, endured the spitting and scourging, the smiting in the face, the cross and death, deigned to suffer in the flesh the frightful passions, the life-giving cross, and the voluntary burial, rose from the dead, and by death overcame death, and gave to them in the grave life, ascended into heaven, and now sits on the right hand of the Father, and sent the Holy Spirit as tongues of fire from heaven for our salvation. Just as the dismissal of the feast of the Holy Spirit tells us, Christ our true God emptied himself from the bosom of the Father and took upon himself our human nature wholly and deified it, and thereafter again ascended into heaven and sat on the right hand of God the Father, and did send the divine and holy consubstantial, equal in power and glory and co-eternal Spirit upon his holy disciples and apostles, and through him did enlighten them, and through them the whole world. These were the things he did for us. In order for us to become partakers of his work, he sent the Holy Spirit to the Church. It is through the mysteria of the Church that the Holy Spirit sanctifies each and every one of us according to our capabilities. Originally, on the Sunday following the Sunday of Pentecost, the Church Fathers celebrated all the martyrs that sacrificed their lives throughout the world. Besides the officially recognized saints, they also added all those that believed in the teachings of the apostles, were sanctified by the Holy Spirit, yet because of various circumstances reposed in the Lord in anonymity. In other words, on the 9th Sunday of Pascha, the Church celebrates the Virgin Mary, all the angels, prophets, apostles, hierarchs, martyrs, ascetics, unmercenaries, women saints, and every anonymous saint from the beginning of time until the second coming. The goal of every Christian is to become holy like God is holy. This means that this must be done within the time frame that God has given us down here on earth. In our quest to do this, that is to achieve theosis or deification, we have all these saints that surround us in our everyday life. They give us the necessary motivation to carry on with patience and progress in our spiritual odyssey. By emulating them, they will help us turn aside from sin and focus on leading a virtuous life, participating in the sacraments of the Church that will finally lead us to become godlike, that is, to achieve theosis. The Feast of the All Saints is the culmination of the work of salvation of the Holy Trinity. By participating in this work of God, these saints engaged in synergy, they became co-workers with God, and now they enjoy the fruits of their labor. We too can achieve this and join their ranks, since we were given their names. By emulating them, we stop giving excuses to ourselves. If they were human and were able to achieve theosis, in many cases in more difficult circumstances than our own, we too can achieve our goal to be in communion with God.